Welcome to the True Tomorrows podcast. Are you ready for another cool weekly sci-fi probe into the wild galactic tales of flash fiction?
I am. Always exciting to see what kind of imaginative stories are out there in the vast universe of flash fiction.
Right. This week we're diving into not one, but two incredible flash fiction stories that'll take us on a wild ride through the
Oh,
cosmos.
two stories. That's a treat. What kind of cosmic adventures are we in for this time?
Get ready for Dracula in Space and King Arthur in Space.
Wow, talk about a genre mashup. That's pretty intriguing, actually. Classic figures meeting futuristic settings. I like it.
It's like epic sci-fi films and best-selling short stories rolled into one galactic package.
I'm already hooked. So where do we even begin with these cosmic tales?
Well, like always, you, our amazing listeners, sent in these fascinating flash fiction stories.
And as always, we're here to unpack them for you, extract the most thrilling parts, and connect all the cosmic dots.
Our mission, to give you the essential knowledge without any overwhelming info dumps. Just pure, captivating storytelling.
Pure storytelling, no filler. Gotta love that. Makes you feel like you're right there in the action.
Exactly. So buckle up, folks. We're about to explore a universe where legendary figures face new cosmic challenges.
I can't wait. Prepare for interstellar vampires, ancient prophecies echoing across the stars, and of course the timeless battle between good and evil, but on a galactic scale this time.
Okay, let's blast off with Dracula in Space. The story kicks off with our protagonist, Captain Elara Helsing, at the bustling spaceport of Icarus Prime.
Icarus Prime, huh? Is that like the central hub of this universe?
You got it. It's described as a hub of 1,000 worlds, which immediately paints this amazingly vivid picture in my mind.
Yeah, 1,000 worlds. There's a lot of traffic going through that spaceport. Must be pretty chaotic.
Chaotic is an understatement. But even amidst all that hustle and bustle, there's something about Captain Alara's intense gaze that hints at her family's long history of battling. Well, let's just say things that go bump in the cosmic night.
Okay, so we're talking about a Helsing here, battling creatures of the night.
Yeah.
Interesting. What's her deal?
You, our listener, picked up on something pretty crucial right from the start. That cryptic message Elara receives from her home planet. It's a signal of imminent danger.
A distress call, huh? What kind of danger are we talking about?
The message specifically mentions the star count, and let me tell you, that name sends shivers down Elara's spine.
The star count. That sounds ominous. Is this some kind of cosmic overlord?
Oh, he's way more than just some overlord. The star count is described as a cosmic incarnation of Dracula himself.
Hold on. Dracula in space. Now that's a twist I wasn't expecting.
And his interstellar reign of terror is feared across entire star systems, so yeah, pretty big deal.
Yeah, pretty big deal might be an understatement. A cosmic Dracula.
Mm.
I can see why Elara is getting those shivers. What does she do with this information?
Well, the name Helsing carries a lot of weight, a legacy of battling vampires. But initially, Elara is actually reluctant to embrace this destiny.
That's understandable. Facing a cosmic vampire lord isn't exactly a walk in the park.
Right. It's a pretty human reaction, I think, to such a massive, daunting responsibility.
Yeah, even for a Helsing, that's a lot to take on. So how does she even begin to prepare for this?
Well, she quickly realizes she can't do this alone. Her journey begins with assembling a crew. And it's a pretty colorful bunch.
Oh, I love a good crew in these stories. Who are the main players?
First up, we got Zane, the sarcastic pilot. He's definitely the comic relief of the group.
Gotta have that comic relief, especially when facing a cosmic vampire. What's he like?
Well, when Elara tells him they're off to battle a legendary vampire in space, his response is classic Zane. What could possibly go wrong?
Huh. I can already picture him. A little bit cocky, but secretly a total badass when it comes down to it.
You nailed it. And then we've got Lyra, a mystic with a deep understanding of ancient cosmic lore.
A mystic. Interesting. Sounds like she brings a whole different set of skills to the table.
Exactly. It's like she knows all the secrets of the universe. She's the one who explains all about these cosmic ley lines, invisible energy pathways crisscrossing the galaxy.
Cosmic ley lines. Now that's cool. It adds a whole other layer to the story.
In a lot of sci-fi and fantasy stories, those ley lines are like sources of immense power. And when they converge, well, that's where things get really interesting and dangerous.
Ah, so the convergence is like a focal point, a place of amplified power. I bet the star count wants to get his hands on that.
You're way ahead of me. Their intel reveals that the star count is after an ancient artifact on Elara's home planet. This artifact supposedly holds the secrets to cosmic mysteries, and the star count wants it bad.
Cosmic mysteries. Now I'm even more curious. What kind of mysteries are we talking about here?
That's the big question, isn't it? What kind of power does this artifact hold, and what exactly is the Star Count planning to do with it?
Maybe ultimate power. Immortality on a cosmic scale. Or maybe something even weirder and more mysterious.
Those are great questions, and I wish we had more time to ponder them, but their first confrontation with the Star Count comes sooner than they expect. It all goes down aboard his terrifying dreadnought, the Nightwing.
Oh, wow. So they're heading straight into the lion's den, huh? What's this Nightwing like?
You, our listener, described it as an imposing fortress of advanced technology and dark energy. Imagine a Gothic castle in space, bristling with weapons.
That's an awesome image. Blending sci-fi with Gothic horror. Love it.
The initial encounter is brutal. The Star Count's presence alone is enough to make you freeze in your boots.
So they're completely outmatched.
Completely. The Star Count effortlessly obtains the artifact, leaving Elara and her crew to make a hasty retreat.
Ouch. That's got to be a tough pill to swallow. What happens next?
This defeat is a turning point for Elara. It forces her to realize this isn't just a battle of strength. She's going to have to get smarter, more strategic.
Yeah, she needs to figure out the Star Count's weaknesses, his motivations. You can't just brute force your way through a cosmic vampire lord, I guess.
Exactly. After their narrow escape, they regroup and try to figure out their next move. That's when Lyra reveals the Star Count's ultimate goal, the convergence of those cosmic eye lines we talked about. He believes it'll grant him dominion over life and death itself.
Whoa. Dominion over life and death. That's a lot of power for one being, even a cosmic vampire. What's the plan now?
They decide to infiltrate the Nightwing again, this time aiming to sabotage it from within. It's a bold, desperate move.
Going back into the belly of the beast, that's got to be risky.
Incredibly risky, and as you might expect, things don't go according to plan. The Star Count anticipates their every move. A fierce battle erupts, and they're overwhelmed once more.
Oh no, so what happens? Do they get captured?
They do, and it gets worse. The Star Count turns Zane, the pilot, into one of his minions.
No, not Zane. That's brutal. What does that do to Elara?
It's a devastating blow losing a friend and comrade like that. She's now captured and forced to watch as the Star Count begins his ritual to harness the power of the converging Holly lines.
It sounds like all hope is lost. But I have a feeling that's not the end of the story.
You're right. Just when it seems like all is lost, the unexpected happens. The Star Count's ritual backfires. Big time.
Wait, what? How does that happen?
Turns out Lyra had been subtly interfering with the ritual the whole time. Plus, the ley lines themselves were unstable. The combination of those two factors threw everything into chaos. The Nightwing's core explodes and the whole ship starts falling apart.
Wow, so Lyra really is a key player here. Her knowledge of those cosmic forces saved the day.
Absolutely. Amidst all the destruction, Zane actually breaks free from the Star Count's control for a brief moment.
He does, even though he's a minion now.
Yeah, it's like a flicker of his old self shines through. And he helps Elara get to the Star Count.
So she finally gets a chance to face him one-on-one.
She does. And she seizes the moment. She grabs a shard of the Nightwing, now infused with the raw energy of the ley lines, and strikes the Star Count down.
Talk about poetic justice. Using his own corrupted power against him. Does that finish him off?
Oh, he's defeated, that's for sure. His last words are pretty interesting, though. He mentions that Elara reminds him of Van Helsing.
So maybe there's a deeper history between their families, going way back.
Right. It suggests that this battle between the Helsings and creatures of the night, even cosmic ones, is a fight that's been going on for generations.
Makes you think about the cyclical nature of these kinds of conflicts. So Elara and Zane escape.
Right? They do. They manage to escape the disintegrating Nightwing, but it's a bittersweet victory.
Bittersweet how?
Just when they think it's finally over, Lyra contacts them with some bad news. The Star Count. He's still alive.
What? How is that even possible?
Apparently, you can't keep a good cosmic vampire down. His ship is somehow reforming, still heading for that convergence point.
Man, that's relentless.
Yeah.
So what happens next?
Elara and Zane know they can't let the Star Count reach that convergence point. They gotta stop him once and for all. They race back for one final showdown.
Okay, so this is it. The final battle. I'm on the edge of my seat.
This time, Elara realizes something crucial. The Star Count's greatest weakness is his insatiable thirst for control.
Interesting. So it's not just about brute force. It's about understanding his psychology.
Exactly. In a pivotal moment, she decides to appeal to any remaining humanity within him. It's a long shot, but it's their only hope.
Wow, that's a brave move. Risky, but it shows how much she's grown. She's not just a fighter anymore. She's a leader.
And you know what? It works. The HAL lines, reacting to the Star Count's internal conflict, engulf him in light, transforming him back into a human.
No way. He's not a cosmic vampire anymore.
He's just an ancient, weary man filled with regret for all the things he's done. The Nightwing completely disintegrates, and the Star Count simply drifts into the void.
Wow, that's surprisingly poignant. It's like he finally found peace, even if it took a preeminent battle to get there.
It is, right. It shows that even the most terrifying villains can be redeemed, in a way. So, Elara and Zane return to Icarus Prime, forever changed by their experience.
Yeah, facing a cosmic vampire lord will do that to you.
The galaxy is safe, for now. But Elara knows the fight against darkness never truly ends. She's embraced her legacy and is ready for whatever the cosmos throws her way.
I love that ending. It's hopeful, but also acknowledges that there's always going to be some kind of threat out there.
Okay, let's take a deep breath and shift gears now.
Okay, what's next? Another wild tale, I hope.
From gothic space horror, we're jumping to a more classic heroic archetype, but with a futuristic twist. Get ready for King Arthur in Space!
Oh, wow, King Arthur in Space. That's a combo I never thought I'd see.
It's pretty amazing. The story starts us off aboard the majestic starship Camelot, gliding through the cosmos. And at its heart sits King Arthur, now known as Arthur of the Stars.
Arthur of the Stars. That's a pretty epic title. What's he like in this futuristic setting?
You, our listener, found the description of his appearance particularly striking. Those deep blue eyes, the silver-tinged hair, and armor that blends ancient and advanced designs. It's like a perfect fusion of the legendary hero and a futuristic warrior.
Yeah, it's like they took the classic image of King Arthur and gave it a sci-fi upgrade. Who else is with him?
Well, he's surrounded by some familiar faces. Queen Guinevere, Sir Lancelot, and, get this, Merlin. But he's not a wizard anymore.
Wait, if Merlin's not a wizard, what is he? A cyborg?
Even better, he's an ancient AI residing within the Camelot systems.
Whoa, that's clever. Merlin as an AI is like magic meets technology. I love it.
It is a cool twist. But their peaceful council is interrupted by a distress signal. It's coming from a remote planet called Eldoria.
A distress signal. Sounds like trouble's brewing. What's Eldoria like?
It's described as a world steeped in myth, a planet that's always remained neutral in galactic affairs.
Neutral, huh? That makes it even more intriguing that they'd send a distress signal. What kind of threat could force them to break their neutrality?
And here's where it gets really interesting. Merlin, in his AI form, detects a hidden code within that signal. This code is ancient, even older than Merlin himself, and it's connected to the prophecy of Excalibur.
No way. Excalibur in space. Now we're talking. So, how does Arthur react to this?
Arthur, being the ever-so-noble hero, decides to answer the call. Despite the potential danger, he knows it might be connected to his destiny.
It's like he's bound by duty, even in this futuristic setting. The classic Arthurian hero, through and through.
When they arrive at Eldoria, they find a world ravaged by attacks. The survivors tell them about a terrifying entity called the Forgotten.
The Forgotten. That sounds creepy. What is it, some kind of alien monster?
It's actually an ancient AI, one that was originally created to be a guardian. But something went wrong, and it's now corrupted, turned into this powerful, destructive force.
So it's like technology gone rogue, a classic sci-fi trope, but with an Arthurian twist.
Right, and this AI, the Forgotten, controls all of Eldoria's advanced technology, their first attempts to confront it. Well, let's just say they don't go so well.
I bet. It's like trying to fight an enemy that controls the very fabric of their reality.
Exactly. They quickly realize they need a new strategy. Back on the Camelot, they devise a plan to infiltrate the Forgotten's core.
So they're going to go right to the source of the problem, try to shut it down from the inside. That's brave.
It is. But during the infiltration, they discover something shocking. The Forgotten was actually created by Merlin's predecessor.
Whoa. So Merlin's kind of responsible for this whole mess. Talk about family drama on a cosmic scale.
And just when they think things couldn't get more complicated, guess who shows up?
Let me guess. Mordred.
You nailed it. Mordred reveals himself to be the one pulling the strings, manipulating the Forgotten all along.
This classic Mordred. Always got to be the villain. What's his game this time?
He wants to rule the galaxy. He believes the strongest should reign supreme, and he's convinced that's him.
So it's a classic power grab, but with a galactic twist. Sounds like Arthur's got his work cut out for him.
He does. It was a trap, of course. Mordred's security systems activate, and a huge battle breaks out.
Oh, I bet Lancelot is loving this. A good old-fashioned space battle.
Lancelot definitely jumps into the action, but Arthur's more interested in figuring out Mordred's motives.
He wants to understand his enemy, even in the middle of a fight. That's Arthur for you, always thinking ahead.
Bet they're forced to retreat when an impenetrable energy barrier appears around the Forgotten's core.
A setback. Mordred's more prepared than they thought, so what happens next?
Back on the Camelot, Arthur reaffirms his commitment to fight for justice and liberation, not for power or glory.
Even when facing defeat, he stays true to his ideals. That's what makes him a true leader.
He inspires the Eldorians and his crew, and together they come up with one final, desperate plan to stop Mordred and the Forgotten.
Okay, this is it, the final stand. How do they plan to take down a rogue AI and its evil mastermind?
It's an all-out assault. Lancelot leads the charge, Guinevere coordinates the attack from the Camelot, and Arthur confronts Mordred directly at the Forgotten's core.
It's an epic showdown, I bet.
It is. And during that confrontation, Arthur realizes something important. Mordred isn't the true source of the problem. He's a symptom of a deeper corruption, something that's infected the galaxy itself.
That's a great insight. It's like he's seeing the bigger picture, realizing the fight is about more than just one villain.
Exactly. So, in a dramatic climax, Arthur plunges Excalibur into the Forgotten's core, disrupting its power source.
He did it. He defeated the Forgotten.
But it's not over yet. In its final act, the AI initiates a self-destruct sequence. It's going to destroy the entire planet.
Oh no. So close yet so far. What do?
They have to think fast. Merlin, in a moment of pure genius, opens a portal and redirects the destructive energy into the void of space.
Wow. Merlin saves the day. Who knew an ancient AI could be so resourceful?
Right. Eldoria is saved, Mordred is defeated, but not before he gives Arthur a warning.
What kind of warning? Something ominous, I bet.
He tells Arthur that the galaxy is ever-changing and his ideals might not last forever. It's a cynical viewpoint, but it makes you think.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even after a victory, the fight for what's right never really ends. There's always going to be new challenges, new threats.
But Arthur, ever the optimist, responds with a vision of the future. He sees a galaxy united, built on hope, where everyone has a place at the table.
He's not giving up on his ideals, even in the face of cynicism. That's why he's King Arthur.
The story ends with Arthur helping the Eldorians rebuild, and his legend as a unifier and a beacon of hope spreads throughout the galaxy.
That's a perfect ending. It leaves you feeling inspired, knowing that Arthur's legacy will continue to shine, even in the farthest reaches of space.
So there you have it, folks. 2 amazing flash fiction stories that took us on wild adventures through the cosmos.
We battled a cosmic Dracula, we faced a rogue AI, we learned about ancient prophecies and the power of hope. It's been quite a ride.
What stood out to you the most, dear listeners? Were you more into the gothic horror of Dracula in space or the epic scope of King Arthur in space?
And think about this. How do these stories make you see these classic figures in a new light? What makes a hero, a villain, a legend, no matter the setting?
We hope this SCI-5 Pira-B has ignited your imaginations and maybe inspired you to create your own cosmic tales. Rate and follow the True to Mars podcast for more captivating explorations into the ever-expanding universe of flash fiction. Who knows, maybe your story will be the next one we take on a deep dive. Until next time, Space Explorers.